Good evening and welcome to the May 6, 2025 special meeting of the Gloucester City Council. This meeting of the City Council is recorded on Zoom with a link that is posted on the agenda. If you are calling in on a phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you are watching on a computer or device, there is a raised hand button that you can tap or press to request to speak. Unfortunately, we won't have any of those because we don't need those because we don't have oral communications or public hearings this evening. But for the future, that's how you do it. If technical difficulties arise and the Zoom link is interrupted during an in-person hybrid meeting of the Gloucester City Council and a quorum is present, the meeting may continue after efforts have been made to reestablish the link. The minutes shall note the interruption. Tonight, in attendance, we have Councilor at Large Valerie Gilman, Ward 4 Councilor Frank Majota. We have Ward 1 Councilor Scott Memard, Ward 3 Councilor Marjorie Grace, Councilor at Large Jason Grow, Ward 5 Councilor and Council Vice President Sean Nolan. We have Ward 2 Councilor Dylan Benson online, and I am
Good evening.
Tony Gross, Council President. And in the House for staff, we have our City Clerk, Grace Poirier. We have Fire Chief Eric Smith. We have Mayor Greg Verga. We have Interim CAO Catherine Schlichty, and we have CFO Connor McCorkle. And remote, we have School Committee Chair Kathy Clancy, and we have our City Auditor Kenny Costa. And we have School Committee member Melissa Texera Prince. Okay, and now we will have the flag salute and a moment of silence, led by Frank Majota. Flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag,
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to do a moment of silence for Arthur Sheehan. He was a retired Gloucester police lieutenant and a wonderful person and active in the community with the elder. A wonderful person, and he'll be deeply missed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business, Madam Clerk.
The mayor's proposed FY26 budget presentation to the City Council.
Okay, I'd like to begin by thanking Mayor Greg Verga and his administration for the diligent work in preparing the fiscal year 2026 municipal budget for the City of Gloucester. Their efforts will ensure that the continued delivery of essential services to all Gloucester residents. And at this time, I would like to turn it over to Mayor Greg Verga for his presentation on the FY26 budget. Just joining us is Councilor at Large Jeff Worthley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, and thank you to the City Council and all of our city staff, volunteers, and residents joining us, presumably at home this evening. I respectfully present the fiscal year 2026 budget for your consideration. This budget is about balance between responsibility and progress, between today's needs and tomorrow's opportunities. I'm proud to share that for the first time, the city has adopted 5-year budgeting forecasting to help us anticipate and prepare, not just react. This new practice has been instrumental in shaping the proposed budget as we plan for the future. For the 7th consecutive year, we've earned the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association, the GFOA, recognizing our continued commitment to financial accountability. You may notice that this year's budget looks a little different from what you're used to in the past. We've adopted a new format in line with the GFOA best practices to improve transparency and to make this essential document more accessible and easy to understand for the public. I want to recognize our CFO, Connor McCorkle, for his fantastic work. This was not an easy task to make these changes, and I'm grateful for his leadership in this effort. Some of the notable new features in the budget include mission statements, strategic priorities, and a 5-year budget comparison for each department. A new debt service section that spells out our borrowing policy, our total debt service budget, and a chart of authorized and unissued debt from 2012 to the present, and a budget forecasting section with 5-year revenue and expenditure projections. The city's general fund revenue is projected to grow by 5.8%, totaling $147.4 million. While we're seeing steady economic growth, including nearly $1 million in new growth this year, we're also navigating the same national and regional economic pressures facing many communities. That growth supports core services and investments throughout our city, but it must also offset the city's rising fixed costs, including health insurance, contractual obligations, pension liabilities, and debt service. These rising fixed costs remain a challenge for our city's finances. However, through careful financial planning, we've risen to meet that challenge, making strategic decisions that preserve core services and staffing levels, even as we manage increasing fixed costs. This year's budget reflects tough but responsible choices. I asked every department to submit level-funded budgets unless increases were absolutely necessary to protect essential services. We also took proactive steps by updating a number of city fees supported by you, the council, for permits and services. Many of these fees had not been updated in many years and now better reflect the true cost of providing these services. I'm grateful to our department heads for their thoughtful work in following the level funding directive and for evaluating fees related to their departments. Their efforts helped ensure that essential services our residents and businesses rely on are maintained while also sustaining our current staffing levels. On the school side, Gloucester Public Schools, GPS, continues to face rising fixed costs, out-of-district tuition, and contractual obligations. In balancing my responsibility to maintain critical municipal services with my strong commitment to supporting GPS, I'm proposing a 5.32% increase in funding for education in this FY26 budget. This increase is the second largest in our city's history, following the record investment I made in FY24. As you may recall, in response to last year's sharp and unexpected increases in out-of-district tuition and transportation costs, I recommended creating the Special Education Stabilization Fund. With the City Council support, we're planning to appropriate $750,000 to help meet the needs of the students and guard against future unexpected costs. These two significant investments in GPS demonstrate my unwavering commitment to our education system, particularly at a time when state and federal funding remain uncertain. We've also made important progress in our parks, open spaces, and infrastructure, and that work continues in FY26. For the third year in a row, we're protecting the paving line item and continue to invest in our roads and sidewalks through the Paving Stabilization Fund. These funding tools allow the DPW to have more flexibility and capability when tackling paving projects across the city. In addition to paving, we're continuing to invest in the maintenance of our valued open spaces, athletic fields, and parks. Over the past few weeks, the DPW has been hard at work replacing two of our beloved neighborhood playgrounds, Apple Street and Cripple Cove. Demolition of the former East Gloucester school site has begun, paving the way for a permanently protected open space and recreational field. We've funded the planning and design of the playground and have submitted a Community Preservation Fund application to support the construction phase of that project, helping bring the community's ideas to life. This builds on the significant projects that we have completed over the past several years. I'm proud to have allocated ARPA funding to the state-of-the-art softball field at the Green Street Park, as well as dramatic improvements at Stage Fort Park. This budget continues our commitment to caring for and maintaining these spaces, investments that have made a real difference in our neighborhoods, and is an accomplishment that I'm truly proud of. As a coastal community, climate resilience is not optional, it's essential. We're supporting clean energy, energy efficiency upgrades, and coastal protection, thanks to the continued work of our sustainability coordinator. I'm proud to have created this position during my first year as mayor, This position has more than paid for itself through significant and consistent grant funding they have secured to support their work. From weatherizing municipal buildings to prioritizing community engagement and educating the public on the Community Electricity Aggregation Program, the city's sustainability coordinator is doing incredible work and making the difference for both the city and its residents. As we prepare for the future through our strategic financial planning and investments in infrastructure and coastal resilience, we are close to wrapping up the comprehensive plan for the city of Gloucester. This plan will serve as the blueprint for our community for the next 10 years. Built on resident input and city staff knowledge, I'll be appointing an implementation committee soon, ensuring that this plan will not sit on a shelf to collect dust, but will instead be the guide for our priorities and initiatives moving forward. I'm confident that our sustainability coordinator and all of our city departments can continue to leverage grant funding to support their work. We are not relying solely on local dollars. We're actively seeking state and federal funding for projects like St. Peter's Marina upgrades and economic development initiatives. These outside funding sources help us reduce pressure on the general fund while keeping Gloucester moving forward. We know many of our residents are feeling the weight of rising costs. The city is feeling it too. But we're planning ahead. We are steady. Through thoughtful management and community collaboration, I believe we will come through these challenges stronger together. This budget isn't just about dollars and cents, it's about people. It reflects our shared values and our belief in Gloucester's future. I'm grateful for the dedicated work of our city staff, educators, board members, and volunteers who make all of this possible. And I thank the City Council for your continued partnership as we work to build a better Gloucester for today and for generations to come. And I believe as I wrap this up, PM Toby is home about to make this go live on the city website. So if people would like to check out the budget, the school committee budget, we voted to approve and submit for public hearing, which takes place next week on the 14th. That budget is available on the school's website. And with that, this is now your budget.
Thank you, Mayor Verga, for your thoughtful presentation. The City Council looks forward to working collaboratively with you and your administration in shaping a comprehensive and responsible blueprint for our city, a municipal budget totaling $147 million for fiscal year 2026. This evening, the City Council will vote to formally accept receipt of the proposed FY26 budget. In accordance with Massachusetts General Law 44, Section 32, and pursuant to Gloucester City Charter, Part 1, Section 6.1, upon acceptance, the City Council will enter a 45-day review period during which it must take action on the budget. This marks the beginning of an intensive review process led by the Budget and Finance Committee, chaired by Councilor Scott Memart, with Council President and Vice Chair Tony Gross and Councilor Jeff Worthley. We will also be meeting with the Council of the Whole during this review process. Budget review meetings will be held in a hybrid format, accessible both virtually and in person, and we strongly encourage all Gloucester residents to attend or tune in. In-person meetings will take place at the Harbor Master's Office Conference Room at 19 Harbor Loop and Kairos Auditorium in City Hall. Here are several key meetings to note. Wednesday, May 14th, there will be a review of the City Clerk's Office, City Council, Police, Parking and Animal Control, Inspectional Services, the Library, Veteran Services, Information Technology, the Licensing Board, Human Resources, Purchasing, and the Auditor. On Wednesday, May 21st, there'll be a review of the Fire Department and Emergency Management, the Department of Public Works, the Mayor's Office, Community Development, Grants, and Conservation Commission, and Tourism. Council on Aging, the Treasurer Collector's Office, Debt Service and Revenues, Shellfish, Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund, including rate discussions, Talbot Rink, and Waterways Enterprise Funds. On Tuesday, June 3rd, review of the school department budget. And on Tuesday, June 10th, public hearing on the FY 2026 budget during the City Council meeting. On June 17th, the final City Council vote on FY 26 municipal budget. We look forward to a transparent, thoughtful process and encourage public participation throughout. And I'll entertain a motion to accept this budget.
Second.
And
No,
refer to the.
I think we need to read the motion. Would someone please read the motion?
I would move that in accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, Section 32, pursuant to the Gloucester City Charter, Part 1, Section 6.1, the City Council accepts receipt of the mayor's fiscal year 2026 proposed budget and becomes the budget of the City Council, and to refer this budget to the Budget and Finance City Council Standing Committee for further review, and I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Memard, seconded by Counselor Worthley. Discussion. This will be a roll call vote.
Counselor Majota,
Yes.
Counselor Memhard,
Aye.
Counselor Nolan,
Aye.
Counselor Worthley,
Yes.
Counselor Benson,
Aye.
Counselor Gilman,
Aye.
Counselor Grace,
Aye.
Counselor Gross,
Aye.
Counselor Grow.
Aye.
The vote is 9 in favor, 0 opposed. The motion passes.
I will now entertain a motion to adjourn. Whoop. Oh, discussion was over.
We'll break the rules of procedure. Thank you. Can we just confirm where the hard copies will be for the public if they don't have access to the electronic version?
Library and.
There's a copy at the city clerk's office, and there will be a copy delivered to the library tomorrow.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
allowing
for
me to
that.
say that.
Nope, that was good. Thank you. Now, motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Counselor Gross, seconded by Counselor Majota. All those in favor? Oh, no.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Thanks, Dylan.
Oh, you gotta wait, Dylan. Roll call.
Counselor Majota,
Aye.
Counselor Memhard,
Aye.
Counselor Nolan,
Aye.
Counselor Worthley,
Aye.
Counselor Benson,
I love making everyone's life difficult.
Counselor Gilman,
Aye.
Counselor Grace,
Aye.
Counselor Gross,
Aye.
Counselor Grow.
Thanks, Dylan. Yes.
Vote passes 9 in favor, 0 opposed. We're adjourned at 6:48.